Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Qatar has announced that an agreement has been reached to extend the humanitarian truce for additional 2 days in Gaza. The truce had been due to expire on Monday. Today is also the 4th exchange of Israeli hostages for Palestinian prisoners in 4 days as part of the temporary truce deal. As part of the Israel-Hamas deal, 39 Israeli hostages in Gaza have been released so far, with 117 Palestinians freed from Israeli jails. Further lorry loads of humanitarian supplies have entered the Gaza Strip, with food, fuel and medicines being distributed by aid organizations. Israelis in Tel Aviv here voicing their support for the extension of the 4-day truce between the two warring sides to bring more hostages home.
As long as we keep on getting them back home, I want the ceasefire to continue.
You know, when you strike deals when you have some mutual interest, and as long as Hamas has an interest to get ceasefire because of military pressure or other reasons, they will be paying for that, if you will, with hostages and to get the ceasefire. So I'm optimistic it will be extended, at least for now, as long as they can provide the hostages back.
A 48-year-old man has been arrested and appeared in court over the shooting of 3 US students of Palestinian descent in Vermont. Hisham Aratani, Tashin Ali and Kinan Abdi-Hamid were shot near the University of Vermont in Burlington on Saturday. While all 3 victims survived, they are currently receiving medical care. The US government is looking into whether the shooting was a hate crime. A man named Jason J. Eaton has been taken into custody after a search of his home. 6 teenagers have gone on trial behind closed doors accused of involvement in the beheading of a French history teacher, Samuel Paty, by a suspected Islamist in 2020. The attack struck at the heart of the country's secular values. It was after the teacher had shown his pupils cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad in a class on freedom of expression, angering a number of Muslim parents. Muslims believe that any depiction of the Prophet is blasphemous. It's been alleged that the United Arab Emirates are planned to use its role as the host of UN climate talks as an opportunity to strike oil and gas deals. Leaked briefing documents reveal plans to discuss fossil fuel deals with 15 nations. The UN body responsible for the COP28 summit says hosts were expected to act without bias or self-interest. The UAE team did not deny using COP28 meetings for business talks and said private meetings are private. It declined to comment on what was discussed in the meetings and said its work has been focused on meaningful climate action. A severe snowstorm and strong winds have blanketed Ukraine, leaving more than 2,000 settlements across 16 regions without power and more than a dozen motorways closed to vehicles. The extreme weather comes as tens of thousands of troops man frontline positions in the 21-month-old war with Russia, and amid fears Moscow could target the power grid with airstrikes this winter. At least 1,370 cargo trucks were stuck and 840 cars had to be towed away amid snowdrifts. On Sunday, the mayor of the Black Sea port of Odessa urged residents to stay at home. Gunmen in Sierra Leone have attacked a military barracks and freed hundreds of prisoners in a coordinated and properly planned attack, that's according to the president. Sierra Leoneans spent Sunday under a nationwide curfew amid disarray in the capital city, Freetown.
In the early hours of this morning,
In a televised address, Sierra Leone's president says calm has been restored, with most leaders of the barracks attack detained. And a Christmas tree has been put up in front of London's Houses of Parliament exactly 1 month before Christmas Day. According to Forestry England, the tree is a 40-foot Sitka spruce and was felled in Kielder Forest in Northumberland. The organisation said it was selected from among 150 million trees. It was transported over 530 kilometres to take pride of place in front of Big Ben throughout the festive period. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.